What's up guys, Ted from Immersion here, and I'm back with another Dragon Plus review, because I wanted to do the one for the month of May since I missed the month of March, because I took too long and it was no longer relevant. What is Dragon Plus? If you're not familiar, I believe I've done a video on this, and if not, I will do one just to put it out there. Dragon Plus is a monthly, or a bi-monthly rather, so every other month, magazine, e-zine I guess you would call it, where Wizards of the Coast puts out. This is their current version of the Dragon magazine, which used to be an older physical print magazine you used to be able to get. Started way back in early D&D times, back in I think the 60s or the 70s. And it continued pretty much I think all the way through 4th edition, and then they just kind of stopped. And about halfway through the life cycle, or basically halfway, maybe 6 months to a year after 5th edition came out rather, they started releasing these every other month articles. In previous Dragon magazines, you used to get a ton of homebrew related content. Not even homebrew related, it was more official because it was in a Dragon magazine, but some folks argued whether or not it was actually truly published and easily accessible to your characters. That would be a conversation you used to have with your DM, because there'd be new feats, new classes, new races. This is more of an informational kind of behind the scenes thing, because most of what I was just talking about is reserved for Unearthed Arcana articles. So let's jump into this. This issue is the Endeavor issue. I'm not going to really read through a lot of these articles because they're fairly lengthy and they all are about Tales from the Yawning Portal. So you can see the table of contents. I'll kind of go through what I normally do. It has basically jump aheads to everything here. The welcome article, this talks all about Durnan, who is the owner and proprietor of the the Yawning Portal Tavern, who you'll learn about in Tales from the Yawning Portal. But it basically explains who he is, why he's famous, having gone to Undermountain, the legendary dungeon contained beneath the city of Waterdeep, and him and his fellow traveler adventurer Mert went in and made a ton of money, where Mert went and made a massive castle and testament to wonderment and glory and kind of his personality. Durnan built a bar. Durnan built the bar over the entrance to Undermountain, which is why if you enter the Yawning Portal, there's a large hole in the middle that goes down to Undermountain, where you can pay Durnan to lower you down like in a bucket, essentially, like a dumbwaiter down to the bottom, so you can adventure and see what you can find. He was one of the most, made some of the most epic discoveries, him and Mert, so they kind of did their own thing. As always, there is, if you click this here, you can take the reader survey. In previous months, the reader survey was to get a $50 gift card. Now it is to get a copy of Planescape Torment Enhanced Editions. You can take the survey right here. This is also, I should throw out there, dragonmag.com. It is also a mobile app, so I may do just a separate video, like I said, what is Dragon Plus. There is always an article on the front cover, because each one is a different version of the ampersand, the D&D ampersand. So this one you can kind of see these are all like, sort of like, I will say it like Easter themed, because there are peeps here, and this is like a stuffed animal. And it's an article all about the creator and what they kind of do and where they came up with the idea for the new cover here. You can see them working on the peeps themselves, and so on. First one, these I highly recommend if you're running any of the Yawning Portal dungeons, that you go ahead and check out these articles, because they basically give you a fictional article kind of detailing a little bit more about the dungeon and a little mysticism around it, what people may be saying about it, things you may have overheard in the Yawning Portal itself, and then a Q&A about it. So I read through a handful of these. Again, I'll spare you guys the details, but this is basically an in-universe, in the Yawning Portal, people are talking about, for instance, this one, the Sunless Citadel, and it's all people going back and forth about things that they've heard and lore about it. And then the next article is a Q&A about the actual adventure itself. This was a 3rd edition adventure. It's asking the creator of it and process of updating things to be ready for 5th edition. And we jump down again. The next one is the Forge of Fury Q&A, and I'm going to skip ahead because you kind of get the process. It's a fictional article about it, and then a Q&A about it as well. So we're going to jump down to... there is also a featured article here about the... so we have the fiction, and then this one, rather than a Q&A, we have a thing about the art of Against the Giants. And then you get, because it's a magazine, you're going to get, like, you know, advertisements in the middle. There is a section here all about the updated Planescape Torment Enhanced Edition. So about the process of updating the game and why they chose that game, and kind of the updates that you'll see in the game itself. A history article about the desktop dungeon. So this is about computer-related Dungeons and Dragons. So you can see some of the very, very old school stuff here, where it was, I mean, more or less like a DOS text game. This was Orthanc in 1975 here. Oubliette, and so on. Here we've got Pool of Radiance in 88. There's a Knoll for you there. Dungeon Hack in 93. And then we're going to start to get into some more D&D related stuff here. Baldur's Gate eventually. Planescape Torment, you know, Icewind Dale was not that long after. And so on. Again, article, take the survey to get a copy of Planescape Torment Enhanced Edition. As always, and the bi-monthly, they will do a Best of the Dungeon Masters Guild. So this one is Trouble in Waterdeep. In my D&D update video from recently, I talked about finding resources to further expand on your Dungeons & Dragons Adventures in the Forgotten Realms. This is an exclusive free download, so you can go ahead and get this. Trouble in Waterdeep, Visions of the Vault Adventure. These guys have done other stuff in the past that I've downloaded. I don't think I've done reviews on them, but I may. So we delve into Trouble in Waterdeep, an urban adventure from Cana Games, which mixes dungeon crawling action with some fine role-playing and plenty of political intrigue. It is very firmly aimed at beginner adventurers of 1st to 3rd level and is divided into 3 2-hour chapters, making it perfect introduction to the City of Splendors. And then they go on to Q&A, the two gentlemen behind this adventure, and they show some of the art from contained within, and then they ask a little bit about what they like on DM's Guild. They were the guys behind Visions of the Vault Compendium here, which is some magic items that you can pick up. And then they also said they're proud of Gene's Guide to Thieves' Cant, another book that I've actually downloaded myself. It is a player guide, and I really, really like this, to role-playing rogues. It is told, you know, it's a perspective article told from the voice of Gene, who is a rogue, who claims to have stolen the gold of a sleeping dragon, won the beard off a dwarf in a game of dice, and sold Avistani his own elixirs back. It basically will detail Thieves' Cant, ways to utilize Thieves' Cant and things. I really like the article because Thieves' Cant is a really cool feature that rogues get, and it is basically like a little tiny text that just tells you very briefly what it is, and that's it. The rest of it is kind of left up to you or your DM. It is utilized in a couple of the newer D&D comics. They show a more visual representation of two characters speaking in Thieves' Cant, but I really like this article. I highly recommend you check it out. And then they say what is on the horizon for this this developer in the future. Our newest title is North of Neverwinter, an introductory adventure where players explore the wilderness around Neverwinter and unravel ancient mysteries of the uncharted spine of the world. Very cool stuff. The Cloaked Ascendancy is now available. D&D and Beyond. This is talking about bringing D&D into the digital world with the D&D Beyond digital toolset. As you can see, we're still working on getting this. We're still in beta mode, but it is going to be available via your phone, so it will make things a little bit easier for your smart devices to use D&D Beyond. There is a brief kind of synopsis of the feats for skilled Unearthed Arcana. They do a brief one. There's not any different than the article that you'll actually download. They don't cover all of it, but they basically say, here's a cool, we're going to pull out a couple, show you what they are, and then basically allow you guys to decide whether you want to go look at it. Again, Unearthed Arcana articles are free, so this just kind of is a little bit of a primer. Again, if this was a physical magazine, this would make you want to go further and find the full article. There's an article from the folks over at Dungeon Chess. This is a virtual reality chess simulator using Dungeons & Dragons character. It is out on Oculus at the moment. But yeah, you can go ahead and see, like, here are some drow as pawns, and here are beholders as rooks, and so on. And that's pretty much it. We're going to get a preview of what's coming up in issue 14. There's a people play Dungeons & Dragons across the planet and a D&D around the world special. We'll also have a report from Gary Con with the legendary Luke Gygax, that's Gary Gygax's son, on running the Tomb of Horrors tournament, and a feature on how to use virtual tabletops like Roll20, wow, my voice, and Fantasy Grounds to enhance your DM skills. Our next issue will also feature a free scenario called The Rat Queen's Adventure, another painting tutorial to help you make the most of your minis, and another free adventure from the Best of the DMs Guild. And that's pretty much it. And then a little bit about the staff of Dragon Plus. So that's my fairly quick review of Dragon Plus issue number 13, the May 2017 issue. Let me know what you guys think in the description below. What are your thoughts on Dragon Plus in general? Is it worth it? Do you enjoy spending time reading these articles? Do you miss the Dragon magazine of old? Would you like to see more homebrew kind of, or expanded content rather, in these articles? Or do you think Unearthed Arcana has its place and that's where they belong? Let me know. Anyway guys, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.